Right, hi, I'm David. Nice to meet you all virtually. Just in case you don't know, this has been pre-recorded, but I hope I'll be around. Be around after to take any questions. Firstly, I'd just like to give a big thanks to the Brighton R organisers, and especially Jeremy for giving me the opportunity to present to you. This was a talk I was going to give back in April at a live Brighton R that unfortunately got cancelled along with everything else because of COVID. So here we go. So the talk's called From Naught to Shiny in 69 Love Songs. So I'm sure many of you know what Shiny is. Less of you probably know what 69 Love Songs is. You could probably tell from the top there that it's an album. So the talk today I'm going to be going through a Shiny app I built that basically explores the lyrics to an album. So here we go. Before I get into it, if you want to get in touch, you can find me on Twitter. I like to tweet about R. So at Committed to Tape. You can also find me on GitHub at Committed to Tape. I'm trying to put as much of my code these days on there. And then I'll show in a second my blog, David Smale at netlify.app. Then there's my email. Right, so who am I? So here's a screenshot of my blog. Just to give me a little bit of my background in R. I've been using it for just over a couple of years now. Basically decided that I wanted to learn a new programming language. So in my day job, I'm Data Analyst for a bank, mainly coding in SAS and SQL. I started doing some R courses online a couple of years ago just to learn something new. I kind of discovered the tidyverse packages and there was no looking back really. I really love the kind of elegance and the intuitive methods in the tidyverse of kind of wrangling data and especially creating graphics using the ggplot2 package. I tweet about R. So if I've created a new data viz or something I want to tweet about, more in-depth projects, I like to write blog posts about it. As I say, R is something I mainly do kind of in my spare time, to kind of learn new things or just to play about with stuff. I like to look at topics that interest me. So indie pop is the topic of today, but I've also done stuff on the films of Wes Anderson and some cricket stuff. Big Test match cricket fan, but I won't bore you with that today. Right, so Shiny, it's got nothing to do with football stickers from the 90s, which is all it meant to me until a couple of years ago. I was gonna, I guess, do a show of hands at this point. Maybe we could do something interactive in the chat or something just to see what people's experiences of Shiny are. I guess this is mainly for people that perhaps don't know that much about Shiny or nothing at all. Maybe if you're a more experienced Shiny user, you might find something interesting in the talk. The main aim is to hopefully inspire people to get out there and build some Shiny apps. So for those that don't know anything about Shiny at all, just a brief description. So it's an R package. So it's open source, but it's maintained by RStudio, the company. So it's actually built by their CTO, Joe Cheng. It's for building interactive web apps. So I guess like you may have probably seen kind of dashboards built in Tableau or Power BI before. We're kind of talking about something like that, where you're basically providing the user with some inputs and some outputs, say graphs or tables, whatever, and the user can kind of interact, update, change those inputs, and then your analysis will update. So whatever it is, graphs, tables will then update. You're kind of giving the user that flexibility to explore your data analysis themselves a bit. yeah, the great thing about it is that you're building this web app, but you don't actually need to know anything about web development to do it. So it's all built from our code. So whether that's Shiny specific code to build the structure of the app, but then obviously whatever other R package you like to use to wrangle the data, etc., to build the outputs. But essentially Shiny kind of turns it all into and renders it as a HTML website, but without you actually having to know anything about HTML or JavaScript, etc. And you do it all from within R. So I like to use the RStudio IDE to build apps, and you can kind of iterate there. You develop your app there and see what it looks like just locally, and then once you're happy with it, you can basically publish it to the world. I'll probably touch on it. You can, again, an RStudio product. I should really be sponsored by them, but shinyapps.io is like a server where you can push your apps to, and up to a limit. It's free to do that, and it's easily done from all within RStudio. Right, so that's a bit about Shiny. So why have I built this Shiny app? So I'd learned about Shiny a few years ago, fairly early on in learning R. It was something I definitely wanted to try out. And I guess the final push was provided again by RStudio themselves. So they announced the first ever Shiny contest. So this is going back to the start of last year. So as I said, it's one of their packages, and they really just wanted to promote it a bit more and kind of get people sharing their apps and kind of getting examples of all the cool things you can do with Shiny. And then obviously in return for people doing that, there would then be some awards and recognition to be won from RStudio. So I thought this is kind of the final push I needed to build an app. So a little more on the competition. So you had to basically place the app or all the code into an RStudio cloud project. So this is another fairly new product from RStudio. Essentially just the RStudio IDE, but in the cloud. So your environment there with all the packages you need, etc. And then the great thing about it is that other people can go in and check out your project and run it themselves. And then you've got this kind of reproducible artifact there that people can play around with. So it had to be on there, and then as I've touched on, shinyapps.io, so you had to deploy it on there, which as I said, it is easily done from RStudio, and then put it on there basically means it's available for absolutely anyone to see, and play about with your app. And you have to make all the data and code available, so whether that's just in the RStudio cloud project or say putting it on or creating a GitHub repo or whatever, and then you finally have to make a submission on the RStudio community board. So other people in the community could kind of potentially comment on your app and kind of interact with people on there. And there was actually no limit to how many entries one person could submit. And in terms of them judging the app, I guess they wanted to make it no kind of specific criteria to make it open to people of all abilities, really. So whether you're kind of building an advanced, kind of highly technical app, or whether it's more kind of focused on making something that looks really nice and kind of a really good kind of user experience. So that's the competition. So that was kind of okay. I've got that final push to do it now. It's just trying to come up with something to actually build. So this is going back to before the actual announcement. I'd kind of been kind of started looking at text mining. So picked up this book by Julia Silvey and David Robinson called Text Mining with R. So text mining is something I actually hadn't looked at previously, but again, something that always interested me. So discovered this book. It's a tidy approach to text mining, so it's very much built for people that have kind of experience using the tidyverse and kind of all the kind of tidy principles, having tidy data, etc. So I thought this would be a good place to start. So it comes with like a companion package called Tidy Text, again built by Julia and David. So so they go through kind of some of the key kind of text mining techniques in the book, and also and how to do all those things using this Tidy Text package. And I guess in learning a bit about text mining, I decided it'd be great to kind of apply it to something that really interests me, which is song lyrics. So that's where 69 Love Songs comes into it. So for those that don't know, it's an album by the Magnetic Fields released in 1999. It is an album comprised of 69 love songs. So it's actually a triple album, so there's 23 songs on each volume. And I just thought it'd be really interesting to explore the lyrics, see if there are any differences across the 3 volumes, and just explore how much is it really about love or not. So as I said, so at the back end of 2018, I kind of started doing something on this. So I had something to start with. So here is just, I guess, something fairly simple. I had this graphic here that's basically counting up how many times the word love appears in each song, or variants of the word love, and then kind of split across the 3 volumes. All built with kind of the tidy text package, and then the tidyverse and ggplot2 to build the actual final graphic. And then I had this word cloud. I don't think you're actually allowed to do any text analysis without at least one word cloud. So this graphic was built with the word cloud 2 package. It's kind of cool. You can like mask the word cloud with an image and do things like that. I had these 2 static graphics. It was just a case of taking it further and actually turning it all into a Shiny app. So just a brief rundown of, I guess, some of the more detail on Shiny. For those that don't know, I won't go into finer detail, but you could basically build a Shiny app all from one script. So an app.r script. So I find the easiest thing to do is in RStudio. Instead of just creating a new R script, you can create a new Shiny app, and it will basically provide you with this skeleton script that has all the key elements you need to build a Shiny app, and then you can kind of modify it from there. There's 2 things you really need really. So a UI object, so user interface. So this is where you're defining the look of the app. So what you want to go where. So where you want to place your inputs, where you want to place your outputs, and that just that kind of stuff. So you define the UI, and then you've obviously got to populate that with something. So in the server, it's kind of everything you need to build the app. So say you want to output a graph, then obviously you need to build that graph, and then you can render that within the server function so then Shiny can kind of render the app for you. So those are the 2 key things you need in building a Shiny app. So it looks a little something like this. Obviously fill in the dots, but you need to load your Shiny package, and then you're kind of building out this UI and server objects, and then bring it all together with the Shiny app function. So as long as your code has those kind of elements, it will recognize that you're building a Shiny app, and then in RStudio you click on the Run App button, and it and it renders the app for you. So yeah, it's all pretty cool. So yes, I'm not. I was going to go into more detail on that, on the UI and service side of things, but because of time, I think I'll skip that. But I'll point to some tutorials later. But I did just want to specifically mention how you can customize these apps. So, I mean, so the kind of the default shiny app looks good and really professional and great. But you can, the great thing about Shiny is that you can kind of take that kind of default look and customize it. So I specifically wanted to do this because I fairly early on I decided I wanted to make this app kind of look like the album artwork. So yeah, I wanted to change the aesthetic so it kind of mirrored the album artwork. So that's what I was doing here. So yeah, so for those that I guess know a bit about web development, I'm sure you know HTML and CSS and all that stuff, but I personally had no clue about this stuff, never kind of built websites or anything before, but Stack Overflow and Google certainly helped. So yeah, the best way to customize your app is to essentially write some CSS code to alter kind of elements within your Shiny app. So you can kind of just create a separate CSS file. So here I'm kind of changing the font used throughout the app to be kind of the same font used in the album artwork, and then changing various colors. So here, like changing hyperlink colors. So just a snippet of the CSS file there that you can then you basically include within the UI section of your Shiny script with an include CSS function. So just wanted to mention that. You'll see in a bit how that kind of played into how the Shiny app ended up looking like. Just one last thing before I get into the actual app. I'd just like to go through some of the key packages I used. I think it's always interesting to see what packages people use in case there's stuff out there I've not seen before. So I guess firstly I had to actually scrape the lyrics before I could do any analysis on them. So I got all the lyrics from a lyric website called genius.com using the Harvest package, which again is a Hadley Wickham package. That is pretty good for scraping lyrics, especially if, like myself, it's something you've not done before. There's a few tutorials out there to get you underway with that. I scraped the lyrics, and then I had to tidy them up a bit. So using really string-R and tidy-R and dplyr from the tidyverse, just to get it all in the format I wanted. And then I've mentioned the tidy text package by Julia Silgi and David Robinson. So throughout that the text mining book, they basically go through the kind of the key techniques in text mining, and then how you basically apply those techniques using this tidy text package that they've built. And you'll see in a sec the various techniques I've used, that already comes from that tidy text package. The word cloud 2 package for word clouds. It's kind of plays nicely with Shiny. You can kind of make them interactive. I'll show you in a second what that looks like. Couple of network packages here. So this is specifically text mining technique, looking at I guess relationships between words, so n-grams. So I specifically looked at some bigrams, which is basically looking at really consecutive words in a piece of text. So once you're looking at relationships, you're really looking at network data. So there's a tidy graph package, which is it's a bit like the dplyr but for networks. It's kind of a cool package for kind of manipulating your network data. And then the viz network package I think is really great for for turning your network analysis and visualizations into something interactive. And again, that fits in really nicely with Shiny, which I'll show you in a second. And then finally, the DT package. So again, this is a really easy way to take just a table, some tabular data from R, and kind of render it in a Shiny app as an interactive table that a user can kind of say search or sort or do whatever with. So those are the packages. So now I'll demo the app. Just wait for it to load. Right, so I guess I'll just talk through the aesthetics to start with. As I said, something I really wanted to do was kind of get the app to kind of mirror how the album artwork there. So here you'll see this is the lovely re-released vinyl edition of the album. So you'll see the colours obviously all match the artwork. I'll try to kind of put as much attention to detail as possible, so even kind of hovering over the links and stuff, it's all nicely aligned to the album artwork. So this first page is just a landing page where it says actually nothing interactive going on here at all. Just wanted a kind of intro page to give a background to what the app was. So as I said, it's an album by a band called The Magnetic Fields. So it's the chief songwriter, Stephen Merritt, has described it as not remotely an album about love. It's an album about love songs. So I kind of really just wanted to explore it. So here we go. So this kind of goes back to that first graphic I had. So in that static graphic, I kind of had 3 volumes sort of faceted, but here in the Shiny app, I'm kind of just displaying 1 volume at a time, and this is where the interactivity comes into it. So the user can go in and change which volume they're looking at here. So obviously they change the input, and the graph here updates. And then you'll see I've got this info box here, where it changes as the user updates that. So so this first tab here is we're really just looking at just looking at the number of times the word love gets used in each song, or variants of the word love. You'll notice here I'm also kind of I've added a kind of snippet on each page of one of the lyrics in the album, tenuously linked to what I'm kind of displaying. So here you'll see. So this song here, Sweet Lovin' Man, contains a lot of loving. So there's kind of a refrain at the end where loving gets repeated a lot. So that wins out there. But you can kind of see. So obviously some of the songs don't actually contain the word love at all, but a lot of them do, which is probably what you'd expect. And then here's the word cloud. So this is really just giving a user the opportunity to kind of explore all the words that appear across the 3 volumes. So obviously love wins out easily. You'll see kind of other words that you probably kind of relate to kind of romance and love. I think word clouds aren't always the best way to show like absolute volumes or even relative volumes, but kind of the word cloud 2 package, you can hover over the words and it does tell you how many times that appears, which is good. And then so then I've got this kind of searchable table on the right here built with the DT package, so you can like search for words. I know zebra's in there 3 times, and then again I'm providing kind of a filter on the album if you wanted to focus on a specific volume. I guess that's again something fairly simple, just exploring all the words in the album via some word clouds. Right, and then here's where the network stuff comes into it. So as I mentioned, bigrams. So here I'm specifically basically looking at consecutive words where love is involved. So just to try and put all that love into a bit of context. So so here we've got words that appear either before or after the word love. And this is showing you kind of, so we've got arrows going in and out of love. So the black arrows going into love are where that word occurs before love. So here we've got, and then the thickness of the arrow is kind of how common that is. So in love is a common combination, and then you've got the red arrows going out to show you kind of words that appear after the word love. So again, love you is a common combination. So there's just something there you can play around with. So you can see all the words appearing before and after love. And this I think this Viz network package is great for doing stuff like network stuff like this, because it's like fully interactive. You can move stuff around, and then you can click on whatever word you want, etc. And then again, I'm kind of supplying these kind of variants of the word love, just in case you want to build out the networks a bit more. And I just think it's super cool. You can kind of zoom in and move stuff around. So lots to explore there. Right, and then so here's some sentiment analysis, which again is another technique that appears in that text mining book. Again, the tidy text package provides these things called lexicons, so essentially like lists of words with sentiments attached. So here I'm specifically using the Bing lexicon, which has like either a negative or a positive sentiment attributed to certain words. So I basically wanted to see some songs, which songs are kind of the most positive or most negative, and which volumes again are most positive or most negative. So really so seeing what proportion of words in each song have either a positive or negative sentiment attached. So I thought it was interesting that volume 1 seems to have the most kind of portion of positive songs, and volume 3 doesn't actually appear on the positive list at all, which might suggest it's a dark album. I certainly think that that volume 1 is probably the poppiest album, or the most one with the most hits, if you can call it that. And so that's kind of interesting. And then again, the interactivity here is you can change how those bars are coloured. So instead of seeing it by volume, here you're seeing it by the singer that sings on that particular song. So Stephen Merritt's kind of like the chief songwriter who sings on a lot of the songs, but he also has kind of a roster of other singers he employs that sing on some of the other songs. So you can then kind of explore there. Maybe some singers end up with some of the more depressing songs or not. So you can play about with that there. Then just finally me having some fun. So one of the songs, Reno Dakota, has this lyric that always makes me laugh. You enthrall me, and yet you don't call me. It's making me blue. Pants on 292. It just makes me laugh at kind of describing their blueness with an exact shade of blue. So, but maybe you want to try out a different blue that you're feeling today. So there's a few other shades. Space Cadet there's pretty good blue there. This was actually built with ggplot2 as well. Probably other ways to do it, but tend to do everything with ggplot2. So that's the app demoed there. Obviously feel free to play with it at your leisure, but I'll go back to the presentation now. I won amazingly. So there ended up being 4 main prizes in the end, and I won. I won the grand prize for best design, which I couldn't believe. I was really chuffed with, because as I said, that's one of the key things I wanted to do. Was I spent a lot of time doing is kind of customizing the app to be aligned with the album artwork. So that was it's amazing, and to actually get awarded best design. And they sent me a load of merch, so you can see some there and some signed books. Pretty amazing. But probably the best thing was actually getting a one-on-one session with Joe Cheng, who's as I said, basically the inventor of Shiny and CTO at our studio. So that was amazing. We had a chat and he gave me some tips on how to improve the app and stuff. But just want to talk about some of the other submissions, because blown away by some of the other entries, and couldn't believe I won, considering. So here's a couple here. This one's won the most fun award. Basically you can build Shiny apps for whatever you want. It doesn't have to be a piece of analysis. You can make games out of it as well. So word of warning, you could lose hours to this game, but fun game to match up the hex stickers there. And then I think this won one of the runner-up prizes. So Tidy Tuesday Rocks, so by Neil Grantham. So this is, for those that don't know the Tidy Tuesday project, this is like something created by, there's an Arthur Data Science online community that you can find on Twitter that basically release a fresh data set each week for people to play around with, do some analysis or visualizations or whatever. So they release it on Twitter, or announce it on Twitter, and you can go on their GitHub and basically download the data, and it's just a great opportunity to practice, whether that's in the Tidyverse or whatever you want to use. So Neil Grantham's here has collated all these people's submissions. So if you want to tweet what you end up with, you can do that. And then he's collated all these tweets. So it's a great place to find some inspiration, or even just to look at what data sets have been used. And you can find all those data sets on the Tidy Tuesday GitHub. So that was all last year. There was an RStudio contest again this year. Looks like it's going to be every year now, which is cool. So they announced it at the RStudio conference in January. I think they extended the deadline in the end because of COVID. So I think it was actually extended from there. But I did enter again. This time it was some more network analysis this time. So did a kind of a network analysis of actors appearing in Wes Anderson films. Jason Schwartzman appears a lot. There's Bill Murray, no great shock there, but so that was fun. I won't demo that now, but you can check that out if you want to. So alas, I did not win this time. So they announced the winner a couple of weeks back, or winners a couple of weeks back. But definitely check out this year's winners as well. Again, a load of amazing apps there, and basically RStudio are collecting a lot of the winning apps and displaying them on their Shiny Showcase area on their website. So definitely check out the Shiny Showcase just to get inspirations for your Shiny apps. So before I finish, I'll just go through some kind of signposting if you want to learn more about Shiny. So a great place to start if you're new to it is RStudio Shiny tutorials. So you'll find some videos on there to basically get to grips with the basics of building your UI and server, and kind of the key concepts of Shiny, such as reactive programming, which is something I don't think I've got time to go through today, but something you need to get to grips with. And then next there's currently Hadley Wickham's writing a Mastering Shiny book, which it's not finished yet, but it's kind of available online for people to read now, and it's in pretty good shape. And I've been reading it a bit and kind of delve into it more. It looks like it might end up being the Bible on Shiny. So yeah, definitely check that out. And then maybe if you're more experienced Shiny developer, then some other things here. If you're more advanced, so there's ThinkR, which is a French group of Shiny developers. They've built this app called Golem, which is like for building like robust Shiny apps as like packages. Specifically in mind of putting Shiny apps into production. So say at your company or whatever. So definitely check out this engineering production grade Shiny apps book. Again, that's quite new book that they've released that you can just read online. And Shiny modules. So again, this is something I've not actually gone into myself, but I can imagine as an app becomes pretty large and complicated, it might be difficult to start kind of unpicking that and kind of debugging stuff. So Shiny modules, you can kind of compartmentalize it all a bit. And actually, I think this Mastering Shiny book does now have a chapter on Shiny modules. It might be worth checking that out if you've not seen them before. And then finally, so Joe Cheng gave a talk at the RStudio conference earlier in the year on customizing apps. So as I said, you can, as I did, customize your apps with CSS. It can be a bit fiddly at times, trying to work out exactly which kind of elements you need to update. This kind of Bootstrap lib package looks like it's going to make that a lot easier. I've not used it yet myself, but I definitely will do. Basically means you can kind of update color schemes and stuff a lot easier. So you could probably imagine if you want to build an app that kind of is in the style of your company brand or whatever. Looks like it's going to be a lot easier to do that using these packages. So that's it really. Thank you very much for listening. Just one final thing on the slides that I've built them with this Seringan package, if I've pronounced that right. So it's kind of an extension of R Markdown. You can kind of build these HTML slides. So I've kind of designed this or customized this Brighton R themed slides. So if you want to, so the slides are available here. I'm sure we'll make that available on my website. But if you want to check out the code behind the slides, you can as well on my GitHub, in case you want to potentially use Seringan and this Brighton R theme. Again, thanks very much. Hopefully you know a bit about Shiny now if you didn't before. Hopefully I've provided you with some inspiration, if nothing else, or at least told you about some cool album that I like that you should definitely check out. But that's it really. So thanks again, and perhaps I'll catch you in the chat now. But thanks. Bye.